What up, my divine loves and my divine lovettes? Yeah, this is magnificent. You guys, this is a powerful message that I want to pass along to women and men, okay? Because this is a valid message that is important right even today as it was important, back way, way back, right? So, yeah, you guys, it's valid, okay? This has to do with life or death, okay? It has a lot to do with how your body signals you. And intuition is something else, okay? This is really profound, This message is precise in every way. All right, so it inspired me to tell you guys my story today. I too had situations where in the past, if I would, because I've always had, very long-term relationships. I've rarely had to drift in between or anything like that. And it started out at 14, from 14 to 17, from 17 to 23, to 23 to then, it's like been like long jeopardy type of relationship starting out. So my first relationship starting out was 4 years. And my second relationship was 7 years. My other thereafter was almost 15, blah, blah. But the bottom line is this. If you are now, oh my goodness, this is powerful. Okay, now I remember meeting someone and thinking, why not experiment, right? So my body would not allow me to experiment twice in my lifetime. Like, yes, twice in my lifetime, my body would not allow the man, okay? And I've heard another lady say that too, and I'm so glad I'm not alone because this was a rare incident where two situations, same thing, that my body rejected the man, like totally could not, it's no enter, okay? It was weird. And I was like, you never look at things in a wide range until way, way after, But nevertheless, then we go on to now, that's a major sign. We didn't get it. We both didn't get it because both situations we tried all night, but it would not happen. And it was so crazy. I mean, we tried every trick in the book you can imagine. And so knowing that, okay, of course they drifted off from me. They didn't want to. And I felt like, I was the weirdest person on earth. So I just kind of, helped it drift as well on both incidents. But I couldn't believe it happened a second time, but it did, okay? So that's a communicating sign of your body. Your body would not allow things to happen to it because it is fully protected, okay? And if you guys have experienced that, let me know, because I'm so grateful that lady spoke out, because I only shared that with a few people. I'm like, yeah. They were like, really? I was like, yeah. That really happened. But little did I know it was my body really protecting me and allowing me to know this is not the person for you, okay? This is something that my body did not want to pursue. That's the connection it has between, your body and you. Now later on, I remember dating someone, and they say that another way to know is when your cycle is off. Okay, my cycle went off. It's irregularity. Every time it was a panic. It was a panic attack. Did we do something? Is there something wrong? Is it, even with protection. It was always that on guard, on guard. That should be a valid sign as well when your cycle shifts. They said that's a valid, a valid sign. Now, before I got married, okay? Before I got married, I was dating someone also for at least 5 years, 4 to 5 years. And needless to say, I knew this person was not good for me, but I was trying to take the good and the bad, right? My body wasn't having it. Every time this man would come around me, so help me God. I'm not a sinusy person. You guys have not heard me sniff, sniff, sniff or anything like that. I'm not that person. But when this man comes around me, so help me, girl, man, it's not a game. As soon as this person come around me, I got immediate, allergies. See, mine worked like a real allergy. Like, oh, can you go get me some of this, that, and the third? You know what I mean? It worked like that. It was like, it's immediately. Now, this could quite frankly go side by side with I can't date someone who dibbles and dabbles in a lot of colognes and all of that stuff, but this person didn't do that. They didn't even, use the type of soap or detergent that I'm allergic to and stuff like that. So that was a huge sign, right? Stuff like that. So, yeah. So, when this person would come around, I would instantaneously start sneezing, get that real bad sinusy thing. And what is wrong with me, right? So one day, oh no, it went, okay, this was okay, now if it was sinus, I would never know it, right? Like we never know what our body is reacting to. But let me tell you where the kicker lies. My eye would get totally red around this person. Like when they would come around, sinus would not be like a regular sinus experience. It would be like my eye would be red. And I'd be like, so granted, we would stay apart for a little while. Then I come back around that person, here we go again. And then, I made the joke to him one time. I said, I think I'm allergic to you. But then later on, I took myself serious, because I was like, hold up. This is weird, So what is this? This is beyond weird. Now, I never had any personal, attacks in between the legs, because that's definitely a no-no. I don't stick around. That's a no-no. If it's anything personal down there, then we got problems. We got bigger problems. Leave me alone. But I've never had the skin breakout to my knowledge. However, the sinus is what affected me when I was dating this person for a total of almost 5 years. Now, later on, I got married. And that's the scariest thing, because now you're married, okay? So I got married, and so help me, you guys, I had suicidal itching. I broke out in hives, and this lasted almost a year. It was really, really bad. It was like, I've never experienced this in my life. I've never had hives, never had anything like that. What is this? Right? I had suicidal itching for 6 months. I broke out in hives. And shout out to the European man who who rushed the doctor to see me and said he would pay my bill because they was saying something about my insurance. And I'm like, I have insurance. And they said, and this European man, shout out to him with all my heart and soul. Shout out to him. Thank you so much from my soul. Because I know I thanked him, but I feel like I didn't thank him properly. But he was like, I'll pay the daggone bill. And this man was almost 100. It was him and his son. He said, my father would pay the bill. See her, right? I had suicidal itching, y'all. Never experienced that in my lifetime. So if that wasn't a sign, I didn't know what it was. But at the time, I really didn't know what it was. Because the doctors was examining me. They was like, you're healthy. Like, we don't see anything wrong. Da-da-da-da-da. They tried to do everything, every experiment they possibly could. They took all the blood. And at that point, I said, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, you guys. You know what we go to, because we ain't got no sense. Somebody did the bougie, right? The hooba but somebody put the spell well or chupa. So, that's what it went to in my mind. I was like, well, what is wrong? So, anywho, yes, I still stayed and I fought my heart out. It was the most painful time in my life that I've ever experienced. Doctors did all kinds of research. They never found what it was. So that still, believe it or not, did not tell me to leave this man. Nothing of the sort. Right? So I don't know what it takes for most of you guys, but when carrying our son, I experienced something as well. Like I nearly died carrying our son. And mainly from them giving me the wrong medication. But all of that was signs, But the bottom line is this. If you guys out there, please pay attention to the numbers, signs, and synchronicities. I'm so disappointed I wasn't aware at that time in my youth, experimental stages. But pay attention, you guys, because these are the books in your pages. All of your spiritual stages are books in your spiritual pages. Okay? All right, you guys. I hope I said that right. It's so early in the morning. I just wanted to get this out, and I want y'all to see further. And you guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because someone is out there in denial, and they need to see that we are, available to put our denial on trial. You hear me? Yeah. Exile is not out of style.
Most common signs that your body is rejecting the man you're currently with. Disclaimer before, and I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm not a medical professional. This is based strictly on research, personal experience, and stories I've heard from other women. That said, there are many changes that can happen in our body due to hormones, autoimmune diseases, pregnancy or childbirth, periods, and so on. So please don't take this at face value. It only applies if these changes started happening right after you started meeting this new guy or hooking up with him or getting intimate with him. Okay, let's get into it.
When a man isn't made for you, your body will tell you first. This is a universal experience that women go through. When you're around him and you're getting headaches, your skin's breaking out, your stomach feels sick and you're not sure why, it's your body's first sign of saying he is not for you. His energy is wrecking yours. Get out.
Your body will actually reject them if they're not right for you. I'm not kidding. To just clarify on this is that the last guy I was seeing last year, every time I stayed at his house, I could not fall asleep. I don't know what it was. I mean, yes, I have anxiety, but I could not sleep, and I would lay awake all night. And I remember just being like, I hate staying at his because I cannot fall asleep. And then now with this new guy, it's just like the best night's sleep. ever.
The thing that I want to mention, when your body does not accept a man or does not take to a man, is that you will never be able to fall asleep in his presence. You will not feel safe in this man's presence. And it can be subtle things, like small things, like, yeah, I don't trust you. It's because deep down inside, your spirit team knows there's something off with this man. Your spirit will not take to him, no matter what he does, no matter how much he proves himself to be somebody who will keep you safe. You just don't fucking trust him. That's another fucking sign. Your body is telling you, leave his ass alone.
Girl, if you keep getting UTIs with that man and you were not getting UTIs before, it was not a recurring issue before, but it is with him. It is a consistent issue with him. All I'm going to say is that your body knows before you do. Your body will reject someone before you know that they are not the right person. So just keep that in mind. I do not wish that upon anybody, but listen to your body. Never ignore your intuition and never ignore how your body responds to somebody. Oof, do not force it. He might not be the one for you.
Let me tell you how genetically incompatible you are. Some of you guys are allergic to his semen and you ain't even catching the hint. Every time you have sex with him, you having some type of reaction. But there you go. And it ain't even good. It ain't even that great. Your body is telling you. You're putting on weight being with him. You're cloudy, you're foggy headed being with him. You don't even feel right. You feel drained, you feel tired being with him. Your body is telling you that this person's not for you and you're not even listening to your body. So your body is having a reaction to him. And your body is telling you that you're incompatible but you don't want to listen. But one thing about a man is a man will listen.
In relationships, your body always knows when you're meant to be with someone or not. And I feel like when it's saying no, you do get pretty physical symptoms. But when it's saying yes, it's kind of a lot harder to know it's saying yes because we have all these like fears and like you can tend to feel more vulnerable when your body's saying yes to a person you're meeting.
The signs that my body was giving me when I was with the wrong guy, and let me know in comment if you had one of those signs as well. Number one, the biggest one, simply the gut feeling. Something in your gut was like, it doesn't feel right. Like, you can't put a finger on it, but you're like, something is wrong. Number two, one of the biggest signs I had that with two guys actually, and those two guys were lying to me for a very long time, is that when they start lying to me, literally, I could not, sorry if that's a bit too graphic, but I could not have sex with them. My princess down there would not let them. And like, every time we were trying, it was like, I would contract myself, something was off, and I would not understand why. And then a few months or like few years down the line, when I found out what they lied about, I was like, that makes sense. That was just my body telling me, no, we don't want this inside because he's lying to you. Number three, I would just get sick all the time. Like, you get more cold. Like, you can think I'm a bit crazy to think that I'm a bit too spiritual, but like when I've been in like healthy relationships, I would not get that sick. But when I was in a really bad relationship or like something that was not right or simply not good for me, I would get sick way more often. Number four, girls, you understand my nightmare with that. I would get way more thrush, and please, like, if you're a baby and you think, this is gross, just get out of this video. Like, I would get like way more thrush, like frequently. And then also I had a urine infection when my ex-boyfriend came back last year. I had a really bad one, and it would not go away because I was still attached to him. And when I let him go, when I was like, we are done, the urine infection went. Also, funny enough, when my ex came back last year, I had so many signs that I completely ignored. I had a car accident, which is one of the biggest signs you can get from the universe. I had a car accident, then I had COVID. When I was about to meet him again, I got COVID, and then I had a urine infection. If that's not big signs, that was the universe be like, bitch, get out of this. Last one, you get the butterflies. Butterflies are a sign that it's not good. It's anxiety, it's not meant to you. When you're in a good, healthy relationship and the guy is good for you, you're meant to feel at peace and very calm. And I remember when I was about to meet my ex last year, I never had that. I had way too much butterfly. I felt like really sick to a point where I thought it was excitement, but it was not. It was my body telling me like, just run, bitch, run.
Your body will reject somebody who's not meant for you. So basically, you might start having headaches, or you might start having stomach aches, or you might gain weight, lose weight, break out, and then the moment you're not around them anymore, all of it's gone.
So this is going to be TMI, but I literally don't care. Your body will physically reject people that are not meant for you. And I'm going to tell you about how I found out the hard way. Story time. So I was dating this guy like about a year and a half ago. He treated me so well. He took me out to nice dinners. He gave me reassurance. Like, he was just an angel of a man. But little did I know that he was cheating on me the entire relationship with 20 plus women. My body knew that this guy was not meant for me before my mind knew. And this is where it might get a little bit personal. I dated this man for almost a year and I had non-stop yeast infections from the moment that I met him. I have no idea how many of those little fluconazole pill packs I went through, but it was pack after pack for almost a year. It got so bad to the point where I stopped eating carbs and cutting out sugars from my diet to try to eliminate this fucking yeast infection. Nothing was working. During the time that I was dating this man, I literally gained like 15 pounds as well. My eating habits had not changed. I was still working out pretty consistently, and I attributed it to the fact that my body was like retaining a lot of water weight. However, the minute that I found out that he was cheating on me, I obviously dumped his ass, and lo and behold, my yeast infection of almost a year went away. Within 2 weeks, I also lost the 15 pounds that I had gained throughout that relationship. And now I am dating a guy that makes me so happy, like literally love him, and my body just feels amazing. So if your body is giving you signs that someone is not meant for you, listen to your body. That's all. Love you guys.
Is your body rejecting that specific person? Had you have told me this years ago, I would have been like, what do you mean your body can reject somebody? Absolutely. And the kicker is, you don't even know that it's rejecting that specific person. Let's talk about how your body starts to reject that person. So if this person comes around and you have anxiety, your heart starts beating faster, you get very nervous, maybe they're criticizing you constantly, maybe it's just a toxic environment. Your body starts throwing up red flags and saying, hey, we feel like we're doing a double time when this person comes around. This isn't normal. And even when that person isn't around, your heart starts beating faster, even thinking about that person. So you're in this constant fear state at all times. This is a sign there is something very, very wrong when your system is rejecting this person. Now, the outcomes of rejecting this person can be UTIs, reoccurring UTIs. You guys, I cannot express how frustrating UTIs are, especially if you've never had them before in your life and you're like, wait a second, I don't even understand. You do everything, you change your diet. You stop pretty much eating at some point. You start taking all kinds of supplements. You're drinking tons of water. You're trying the cranberry juice. You're doing everything you can and nothing is changing. The other one is the rashes. The rashes from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes. You're like, what is going on? Why do I have all these rashes? Why is this happening to me? And you're frustrated because you feel like your body is failing you, but in reality, your body is trying to alert you. Your body is trying to say, we can't do this. This isn't sustainable for us. If you've been in this situation and you want me to share more about this, please comment below.
Did you know if your soul does not like the partner that you're with, your body will reject them?
Oh yeah, we all know about the obvious ones. Like, you get UTIs a lot, you get BV, like you get hives. I've gotten hives. But my favorite one that no one really talks about that much, but it's always true, the second that you don't like their smell, like their natural scent, their like body odor, when that starts to like, something in your brain flips and you get disgusted, it's time to go. You gotta cut them loose.
One of the most telltale signs of knowing that a person is not meant for you is this. I know this is going to sound really crazy, but I know for a fact other women have experienced what I'm about to say. It's when you feel dirty after spending time with that person. Now, before you freak out, when I say dirty, I don't mean that the other person doesn't take care of themselves, doesn't groom themselves, or that person is dirty. It's just this feeling of like, you don't feel good after spending time with that person. And this can be as simple as cuddling with the person, kissing them, just spending time with them. And it's really weird because, again, it's like the person could be the most tidy, cleanest person ever, but when you are done being with them, you just feel like different. I don't know if this has to do with pheromones or just you maybe not being as attracted to the person as you thought you were. But I realized this like yesterday, after reflecting on different experiences with men that I've had and how I have felt after being in their presence. Like, I could have the same dynamic going with 5 different guys, but after being with every single one, I could feel like I'm either on top of the world, I could have that like fresh, energized feeling, or I could have that dirty feeling that I'm describing. It's almost as if that person's like scent has gotten all over you. I guess the person's germs. Like, their energy has been intertwined with yours and your body rejects it. And so it feels like you literally have to like shower it off. And I recognize this because after spending time with certain people over and over again, I always get this feeling and I'm like, what is it? And I think in the end, it comes down to that is your body rejecting the person. It's rejecting their aura, their soul, their energy. And I could be completely theorizing wrong about this, but I really do think I'm onto something. And I think that is why it's so important to be in tune with your body and really listen to how you feel when you are with certain men, or I guess when men are with certain women. Are you fatigued after you spend time with them? Do you feel energized? Do you feel clean and fresh? I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I really hope that other people, specifically women, know this feeling that I'm talking about, because I swear I am not making this up.
A lot of women at some point in their life will have the experience of dating someone who isn't good for them and their body physically rejecting that person. This is a fascinating phenomenon, and I wanted to share a little bit about what this is, why it happens, and some examples of it, because some people may just plain not be familiar, but I would not be surprised if some people have had these experiences and not realized that their body was trying to talk to them, as the body does. So this happens because the intuition is always at work for us, and we tend to think of intuition as a power of the mind when it is in fact an embodied experience. And particularly for women, right? Woman's intuition, the feminine intuition, tends to express through the body. It is a highly embodied thing. So how this plays out when we date someone who isn't particularly good for us can vary, but I'll start with a kind of extreme example to paint the picture. I have a friend who dated someone who turned out to be a clinical psychopath. And in the time she was dating him, she was bedridden for about a year. Bedridden. Like, went from being this super high performance startup founder to could not get out of bed. Basically could not function. And everyone thought it was an autoimmune disease, including her. Until she finally broke up with this person and the illness was gone like that. I know of a number of women, myself included, who were dating serial cheaters and would get their period weeks early. So I'll use myself as an example because I know that story best. I was in a long distance relationship, and every time this man came to visit me, I would get my period weeks early. Super weird. So dysregulation of the menstrual cycle is another clear indicator that, well, something's off and your body is trying to get you to listen. Some more common ones will be you start dating someone and you get like irregularities in your skin that you don't normally experience. So like breaking out around the mouth is one that I've seen in women. Another really common one is if you don't typically get like UTIs or BV, and suddenly every time you're with this person, you start getting that. So those are some ways that the body will express, get this person the fuck away from me. If you have any stories, I'd love to hear.
Hi, I have been sharing this with some of my close friends, but let me share it with you. Our bodies know if we are in a right relationship, right friendship groups, right job, whatever. It can actually tell us when an environment is no longer good for us. Let me explain. Our minds and bodies are strongly connected. Now, once our subconscious mind has become aware that an environment is no longer good for us, it will manifest physical symptoms to communicate to us that this environment is not for us anymore. When I was in one of my relationships in the past, I've always had migraines at least 2-3 times a week. And those frequent and very painful migraines made me think that maybe I have a problem in my brain. So I went to a neurologist, and my neurologist told me that there's no problem. And so there was no medical explanation of what I've been feeling. But now that I'm out of that relationship, I realize that it's my body telling me that I'm in the wrong relationship. And I've read some articles about that, and it's actually true. And I can go deeper into this topic, but what I want you to do is I want you to observe whenever you're with your spouse, partner, or a friend. I want you to observe what you're feeling whenever you are with this person or with these people, because it can actually tell you that you need to go. And now that I'm more aware of that, I have listened to my body, and it has saved me tremendous time and energy when I'm dealing with people, because now I know that when I'm feeling somehow weird around this person or this people, it just means that I'm not supposed to be with them.
You need to become so self-aware of your own energy and other people's energy to the point where when the people that aren't meant for you come around you, you can feel it in your body. You can feel it in your heart. You can feel it in every cell of your being that they're not meant for you. In other words, your body will reject this person. See, a lot of y'all get that feeling, but you choose to ignore it. You get that ick feeling, or you get the urge to isolate yourself or separate yourself from the situation or the person, but you choose not to. And when you choose to stick with this person, or when you choose to allow this person into your space, it leads you down a path of regret. It leads you down a path of misery and suffering. It's like deep down, you know for a fact that this person is not for you on any level whatsoever. They could be screaming trouble for you. They could have all the red flags in the world, but for whatever reason, you choose to ignore that feeling and allow this person in your energy, to allow this person in your circle or your space. So just a word of advice, trust your gut feeling, trust yourself. Don't allow this person to infiltrate and plague your energy and your life. It'll cost you your peace, your happiness. It'll create problems and even karma that you really don't even need to get into.
Ladies, and maybe men, your body will seriously tell you when the person that you're being intimate with is really not the one for you. Your job is to notice those signs, not brush it off, and not continue to find excuses to stay with that person who is clearly not in alignment. I got a story, right? In my last relationship, that was like the most toxic, unhealthy relationship I have ever been in. I was intimate with that person. After being intimate, I would feel like an uncomfortable burning sensation every time I had to go pee. That person started having like their skin kind of peel off the way that your skin peels off after like you get tan or whatever and the skin peels off. Like they started having that situation happen down there on their pee-pee. And they thought that I had given them something, and I was like, honey, I've been single for 4 years before I met you. I haven't been doing nothing, and plus I've been, gotten checked a long time ago. I've been inactive since then, and I've only been active with you. It's not me, honey. I was like, but you can go ahead and get checked because I know it ain't me. And I was kind of a little bit worried, but not about me, about how is this even happening. They went and got checked. The doctor told them it was nothing. I don't remember what it was anymore, but it was nothing serious, like no sexual transmitted disease, nothing. I consulted with my psychic business mentor at the time. My psychic business mentor told me that I was having like an allergic reaction to their semen. Why am I telling you all of this? First of all, honey, I'm a Scorpio moon. I'm very reserved. I'm very private. I don't be sharing my deep, personal, intimate things with just anyone, but I'm sharing this with you because it serves a purpose. I feel like it serves a greater good. It's gonna help those of you who need to hear it today. This stuff, these symptoms started showing up within the first 2 months of my relationship with this person. My body was clearly trying to tell me, get away from this person. They're not a match. They're not compatible. But because of my own unconscious wounding and all my other crap and letting myself get manipulated and all this other crap, I stayed in that relationship for another 4 months. It wreaked havoc on my life and business. Your body is connected to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind can sense that something is off with this person, and it'll manifest in some kind of physical form to let you know. If you notice a pattern every time you're intimate with your partner, anytime you're around them, that you just feel bad, low energy, etc., that's a message.
Something I wish I knew when I first started dating was that your body will give you signs that the person you're with is not right for you before your brain does. Every time I've been with someone that's not right for me, which I'm gonna be so transparent, that's been every time, My body has always given me a sign that I didn't notice or didn't pay attention to at first. I cannot believe I'm going to share this on TikTok. I swore I was going to take this to the grave, but for the sake of making a point, I feel like I have to share this. So a couple years ago, I started seeing this guy, and every time we were together, my stomach would be a war zone, okay? Now, if you know me, you're probably thinking, that's not weird for you. You have stomach issues. Like, your stomach hurts all the time. This was different, though. Like, every time we'd be together, I would be like, I'm sorry, I have to leave because I'm gonna go fit myself. Every time I was around this guy, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't even swallow, frankly, because it would just go straight through me. It got to the point where it was so bad that I felt like we couldn't hang out anywhere where there wasn't a bathroom immediately available to me. That's not normal. So this one particular date we went on, oh God, for some reason I thought it was a good idea to go like 30 minutes out of town to like have a little picnic with the sunset, okay? Sounds like cute in theory, right? So all day before this date, I feel great. I feel amazing, actually. And then an hour before the date, when he's like, I'm coming to pick you up in an hour, it starts brewing. Something's brewing. Immediately when I enter his car, I realize this is the worst idea I've ever had. Like, you know that feeling in your stomach when you feel like you're just gonna like shit your pants? That's how I felt, and I was determined to will it away. I was like, nope, this isn't happening. I'm just gonna like put myself in a mental state to make this go away. As soon as we got there though, nope, the feeling returned, and we are 30 minutes out of town and not a bathroom in sight. I'm panicking now. So again, I'm not eating anything, I'm not drinking anything, I'm not really saying anything, and he notices and he's like, are you good? And I'm like, honestly, no, I don't feel good. Can we go home? We're packing up and he's taking his sweet time to get the blanket all folded up in the car, blah, 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 put the speaker away. Here I am by the door, clutching my stomach for dear life, and I'm like standing hunched over, like whining about my stomach, like borderline crying. Mind you, we are 30 minutes out of town. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. Like genuinely, I was afraid. So we're driving back. He's driving. He's not driving fast enough. I'm like sitting there not speaking. I'm looking straight ahead. I'm seeing white at this point. Like my stomach feels like it's full of hot lava. It's not good. It's not looking good. And if you're wondering, why didn't you ask him to pull over? Why didn't you ask him to stop at a gas station? I couldn't tell you. I don't know why I didn't ask him to. I guess I was like embarrassed, but like, girl, what's more embarrassing? Asking him to pull off to a gas station or shitting your pants in his car? I don't pretend to understand the thought processes I had when I was like 20. Like that wasn't me, I wasn't her. Anyway, by some miracle of God, we make it to my house unscathed. And I'm just like, you know, I'll be right back. So I go to my bathroom and I'm sitting there, I'm in my bathroom probably 30 minutes and I text him, I'm like, hey, you should probably leave. Like this, I'm gonna be here for a while. So during the time this is happening, I'm also experiencing jaw pain when I wake up. Like every morning, my back teeth and my jaw hurt so bad that I can't even open my mouth for like 30 minutes in the morning. But again, I don't think that any of these things are connected to the guy that I'm seeing. So eventually we realize, yeah, this isn't working out, and we stop seeing each other. I stopped having those severe stomach episodes like immediately, and the jaw pain gone in a week. That's finally when I realized my body was literally rejecting that man, and I just didn't put two and two together. The same thing happened with a different guy I was seeing. It wasn't stomach pain, but every time we hung out, I would come home with the most intense migraine of my life. The first time it happened, I kind of chalked it up to coincidence. I was like, okay, it's probably like the new perfume I'm wearing, or I didn't sleep enough, or I don't know, I drank too much coffee or something. I don't know. But then it would happen every single time. I would be fine all day. We'd hang out. I'd come home with a headache. It happened every single time. We stopped seeing each other. And what do you know? Headaches stopped too. So basically what I'm saying is listen to your body. Your body knows when something isn't right for you, and it will try to tell you, and you have to listen to it. And that's not to say that you're never gonna be nervous or like feel sweaty or like have butterflies when you first start seeing someone, but it should not be making you physically ill. Listen to your body.
Who you are.